What is up, guys? Welcome back. So today I want to talk about something that's very interesting, maybe slightly controversial, and that's anxiety and anger and how you can actually harness some of that for some good to help fuel your recovery. I was able to do this. I want to share this with you. This video is going to be extremely valuable for some of you, so please stick around to the end of the video so you can get every bit of this to start helping you out with your recovery. But you know what time it is. Smash the like button down below if you're ready to kick anxiety in the butt. Leave me a comment. Today's question: does your anxiety make you angry? Does your anxiety make you angry? So let me start this off by saying that I want to share every part of my anxiety journey with you guys, so that requires honesty. This did work for me, and I don't expect it to work for every single person out there. If you have zero anger bones in you and it's just total fear, then right now harnessing anger isn't going to help because you don't have anything to harness, right? But eventually down the road, that agitation or anger could grow within you, and it's not healthy to keep it inside, right? But you don't want to expel it or, get rid of it in unhealthy ways. Harness this powerful thing called anger and use it to fuel your recovery like I did. But feel free to leave a comment with your opinion, be honest. But again, I'm not promising that this is for every single person, but I am telling you it did help me. So in the beginning of my anxiety, whenever I first started having my panic attacks, my health anxiety got really, really bad. I had the cardiophobia. It was mainly fear and loneliness and sadness. But as time went on, I added this new component. It was anger. The longer that I had my anxiety, the more agitated I became. I remember asking myself all the time, like, why me? Why am I freaking dealing with this crap at, such a young age? Or, why are the doctors telling me that I'm healthy and I'm feeling this way? Why are they rolling their eyes at me? Why doesn't anybody understand me when I try to tell them how I feel? And all they do is tell me to relax or calm down or chill out or you're healthy, stop worrying. I think the loneliness and sadness and isolation quickly started to turn to agitation and anger. And when it comes to things like slamming doors, loud noises, being spooked or scared or startled, those things agitated me so freaking much the longer that I had anxiety. Friendships, I started to push certain people out of my life that maybe I shouldn't have pushed out of my life. I had a long relationship. 2 years I was with this person before I developed panic and anxiety, and then the next 2 years everything unraveled and fell apart. So that ended mainly on my part because of the anxiety. Family, I started to push people away there because they didn't understand. They told me to just get over it. So other than my mom was very supportive as much as she could have been. A lot of late phone calls to her, so shout out to mom. But my anger grew, and whenever I would release my anger, it wouldn't be in healthy ways, okay? Now, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, I was never physical with anybody, so that's not the type of anger that I'm talking about. I'm talking about just saying certain things, maybe some yelling occasionally, quitting jobs, arguments, and a lot of just negative body language, and that's basically what I'm talking about, which isn't healthy, right? Anger eventually has to leave us, and we want it to leave in a healthy way. So talking about recovery, when I started to find a few things that helped me with my anxiety, I started to channel some of the remaining anger that I had into my recovery process, and it left less anger within me. Now, the first time that I actually was able to use my inner anger for something good was whenever I was having a severe panic attack at the end of my cardiophobia, and I'll explain. And I was about to go to the ER at 2 o'clock in the morning. And I'd already done this so many times. I'd already gotten my testing done 1,000,000 times. And I remember feeling like, this just freaking sucks. I am tired of this crap. I am so angry that I'm getting dressed at 2 o'clock in the morning to go get checked for a heart attack, at the age of 21 or 22 at that time. This is ridiculous. I'm sick of this crap. But yet I'm still uncertain, for sure, 100%, if I'm fully healthy. What if they're misdiagnosing me? So at this point, I was like, screw it. I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna finally aggressively exercise. I'm gonna run. See, before I'd been afraid of exercise. I've told this story a few times. So for those of you that haven't heard, I would always ease my way into exercise because I was scared of getting my heart rate up, so I thought I was gonna die, right? I didn't want to have a heart attack, even though I'd been told I was healthy a million times. So tonight I was like, you know what, I'm gonna see if this is an actual heart problem. So I'll go outside and I'm upset, I'm angry. I'm mad at, how long this has been lasting. I'm mad of the constant fear. So, I went outside, I ran aggressively, did that for about 10, 12 minutes. And whenever I was done, felt amazing. I felt empowered. I finally was like, oh my God, I don't have a heart problem, because if I was thinking that I was having a heart attack and I go out and run, shouldn't I die? Right? So I wouldn't feel better. So my chest pain had stopped. My numbness, tingling had gone away. I was breathing actually normally now. Checked my pulse. It was actually slower after an aggressive run than whenever I was having a massive panic attack, which is amazing. So in that case, that's one example on how I channeled some anger and used it as fuel to go out and do something that I may have not done if I was just consumed by total fear. Another awesome example of this was whenever I faced anxiety head on in the car. I had horrible driving anxiety. So this particular day, I was in the car on the way to some on-the-job training in Houston, Texas. I'm sure everybody knows Houston. It's a huge city in Texas. And I'm a few hours north of there, so I'm from a small town. At that time, I definitely wasn't used to traffic. So you combine the traffic, the pressure of needing this job, because it was hard for me to hold down a job at all when I had anxiety, so I had a lot riding on this. The pressure of that, a new city, also being on the freeway, which I wasn't used to that, having driving anxiety, okay? Now, combine that with a traffic jam, I'm stuck there, nervous that I'm gonna be late, because they were very strict about it. It seemed like they didn't care about any excuse. So I started to panic. And whenever I panic, I get tons of symptoms. Chest will start to hurt, shortness of breath, I feel like I'm losing my mind, numbness, tingling. So massive panic attack. And the reason that I let out my inner anger in this situation is because I couldn't pull over like I would usually do. I'd pull over, call my mom for some reassurance. I'd be able to pace, move back and forth, chug some cold water, put some cold water in my head, maybe do some push-ups or jumping jacks or something. I was stuck in the car. I couldn't leave. I was forced to face my fear head on. I was like a wild animal being cornered. What does a wild animal do whenever you corner it? It lashes out. It gets pissed off really quick. It starts with fear, but then whenever it knows it has no choice but to fight, that's when the anger becomes necessary. So in this situation, I lashed out at my anxiety. Now, mind you, I was in the car by myself. Don't do this when you have somebody next to you. I started to yell at my anxiety. I was like, let's go. I can't go nowhere. Let's do this. I wanted to buck up and fight. I was like, kill me. I was like, I dare you. I dare you. I know some of you are thinking that's a little bit extreme, but I'm here to tell you, after I got done with that little yelling match with my anxiety, that was probably the most empowered that I had felt up to that point, years in. It was amazing. It felt even better than the time that I exercised when I had the cardiophobia. I had chills in a good way. My chest released during that screaming match. I felt like this huge wave of euphoria come over me, like warm water. My numbness and tingling had stopped. My racing thoughts had stopped. I had just channeled my anger and defeated the enemy, anxiety. Anxiety wanted no part of me in that moment. Anxiety in that moment knew that I was a warrior and that I wasn't afraid. So anger did help me there, and I don't care what anybody says. It helped me there. Not all anger is bad if you can use it in a good way. So guess what I learned from that? I started to use any bit of anger that I had to challenge my symptoms whenever they occurred. So when I talk about challenging symptoms on this channel, it's not a joke. I used it. When I had symptoms come up, I was like, let's go, let's do this. Come on, come on, come on. If I was by myself, I'd say this stuff out loud. Sure, it helped. I think it helps better when you say it out loud. But you don't want to do that in front of people. People are going to think stuff, But whenever I was in public or at work, I do it in my head. You can do this in your head. I challenged it. Anxiety is going to do the opposite of what you want it to do. And by using my anger towards the anxiety, I confused the hell out of it. My anxiety's thinking like, what the hell? What, kill you? I can't kill you. So it worked. So those are two big examples. There's tons of other things. Just the overall mindset. I was mad that I was always worrying about things that I shouldn't worry about. I was mad about being irrational all the time. I was mad about being scared. So guess what that did? It drove me to expose myself. It drove me to embrace being uncomfortable. See, I was no longer taking my anger out on the people around me or people that I loved or on myself, really. I started to use it to do things. You know, it can be fuel. It can be like jet fuel, right? To help you throughout your recovery. You just got to learn how to harness it. So start using it for the betterment of your recovery. You know, use it to get up early in the morning. Use it to fuel your workouts. Use it to be uncomfortable. Use it to expose yourself. It can be useful. Just don't use it in the wrong way, okay? But I hope you got some value out of this video. If you made it this far in the video, guys, do me a huge favor and go down below in the comment section. And I want you to comment in all caps, anxiety will not bully me. Anxiety will not bully me. Remember, guys, overcoming anxiety and recovering 100%, it involves facing fears straight up and overcoming them, all right? The only way that you can overcome fear is to face it, to expose, to be uncomfortable, to accept that you're gonna suffer a little bit. It's not avoidance, right? And managing is great if you wanna manage your anxiety. I have nothing against you. But if you wanna recover 100%, stop expecting to just practice some tools, maybe even just do a little routine, but you never go out there and actually practice it. You never go out there and face the things that scare you the most. Embrace being uncomfortable. Embrace being challenged. Hell, embrace suffering sometimes. Once I started to develop that mindset, recovery became possible. But it wasn't gonna be possible if I just stayed in my house, or if I just kept avoiding driving, or I stopped trying to get a job, or you know, I wouldn't challenge my symptoms, or I kept reacting in fear every time. Once I started to develop the right mindset, things became clear and I started to understand. And honestly, the things that you learn with your anxiety recovery, you'll take with you the rest of your life. Embracing being uncomfortable, not seeing suffering as only a bad thing, that's gonna get you a lot of places in life after you recover. But if you need help with your recovery, guys, if you need help developing that mindset, if you need a perception change on anxiety in the recovery process, please get my course, Elite Anxiety Bootcamp. I think bootcamp is appropriate because we're going to war. We're going to battle. We're overcoming our fears. So if you want the strategy, you want the routine, you want my blueprint, you want it step by step, please go down below in the description, into the first pinned comment. I got the link there. Go check it out at least. Extremely affordable compared to other anxiety courses that have much less content in it. But guys, I hope you can be a part of that. The numbers there are growing, lives are changing, so try that out if you haven't. Remember, guys, hit like if you got some value, and please subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, please hit the bell. If you haven't hit the bell, what are you doing? Also down below, there's plenty of other resources, guys. My TikTok, my Instagram, my Snapchat, my Twitter. There's a link down there for online therapy. If you've never tried that out, try it out. You can do it on the phone, the laptop, the PC. These videos are not meant to diagnose you. You need a professional to do that. And also, guys, if you haven't checked it out, I did a review of a vitamin test this morning, and I posted it. I'll put it at the end of this video on the end card or the end screen. You can see the video up here somewhere. Check that video out. And the reason that I did a review over that is it's not as random as you think. There's 3 things you got to look for whenever you have anxiety to rule out: thyroid problems, hormone problems, and vitamin deficiencies. So go check out that review, grab that test. I did put a promo code on it so you can save 30% on that. So go check out that video and take that test. If you've never had your vitamins checked, good opportunity to do that. But guys, I love you all. And until next time, keep fighting.